up, guys? The phenomenal AJ Styles, and you're watching BrettO Live.
What is going on, guys? BrettO Live back with another video, and welcome to the Week in Review episode 71. Yes, guys, episode 71 of the Week in Review setup. If you guys have not heard of the Week in Review setup by now, this is where we set up Raw and SmackDown in a setup style video, and I give my thoughts, tell you guys what happened. So without further ado, let's do it. Starting over here, it was actually Apollo Crews versus Shelton Benjamin in a one-on-one match in the beginning of the show. Yes, I know that's not Apollo Crews, but I will get into that. But yes, Apollo Crews, Shelton Benjamin, beginning of the show. If Apollo Crews wins, then Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin are banned from ringside for MVPs and Apollo Crews' United States title match that they're going to have at SummerSlam. And in the end, Apollo Crews actually ended up picking up the victory. Apollo Crews picked up the victory with a little help, well, at least after the match, a little help from Mustafa Ali and all of his buddies there, like Ricochet and Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, and then you also had Cedric Alexander. So yes, it was very good to see Apollo Crews pick up the victory. And of course, as I said, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin are going to be banned from MVP's match this Sunday, which is pretty freaking interesting. But then later in the show, it was actually Shelton Benjamin and the rest of the Hurt Business versus Apollo Crews, Mustafa Ali, and Ricochet. No Cedric Alexander. Ricochet, I mean, of course, because the Hurt Business has 3 members, so it needs to be a 3-on-3. It needs to be a 6-man match. So in the end, Apollo Crews ended up not choosing Cedric Alexander, and Cedric Alexander took a little offense to it, and then, of course, they're trying to stir a little controversy. MVP's trying to invite him back into the Hurt Business and everything. The invitation's still open because Apollo Crews didn't choose him, which I think is pretty good. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. But in the end, it did not go Apollo Crews' way. Apollo Crews actually, he eliminated MVP and Shelton Benjamin, but in the end, he got a massive spear handed to him by Bobby Lashley the Almighty, and then it was all over from there. The Hurt Business stood tall, and I don't know if it's looking good for Apollo Crews going into this Sunday. Check out the prediction video for SummerSlam, of course. But yeah, that was pretty interesting. Moving over here, it was actually Peyton Royce versus Ruby Riott, and just like last week, they're just trying to just show more cracks in the relationship between Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott. So basically, Ruby Riott's out here. Billie Kay's trying to get involved. Liv Morgan gets in front because, of course, she's not in the match. Neither is Billie Kay. So, yeah, they're like, okay, don't interfere in this match. Ruby Riott's behind Liv Morgan, and then Peyton Royce pushes Ruby Riott into Liv Morgan, convincing Liv Morgan that Ruby Riott hit her on purpose, but obviously not. Peyton Royce throws Ruby Riott back in the ring, and then hits a maneuver, 1, 2, 3, and then Iconics stand tall. But yeah, I just really don't like how it's just so obvious how they're just fakely just showing these cracks. It's just, I don't know, I don't really like it. It's just like, just put them together again, make them a dominant tag team. Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, I'm talking about. But yeah, that was a little weak. Moving over here, it was actually Mickie James versus Natalya in her her returning match here to Monday Night Raw, and this entire match was distracted by the Monday Night Messiah. Like, I feel like the Messiah was basically distracting me this entire match. So basically, during this match, Mickie James and Natalya, during this match, the Messiah and the Disciple come out and they confront Samoa. They're like, Samoa, how did you know that Rey Mysterio was going to be here tonight? Because it was a big rumor. And where are you getting your information? Who is your provider? And all this stuff. Samoa Joe did not answer the question, obviously. They leave. And then in the end of this match, Mickie James actually ended up losing, very surprisingly. Like, why would you make Mickie James lose in a returning match to Raw? But whatever. And then she ended up kicking Lana in the face at the end of the match. So after she lost. So that was, I guess, interesting. I don't even know. Moving over here, it was Shayna Baszler and Asuka versus Sasha Banks and Bayley in a not half bad tag team match. I enjoyed this one. I thought it was pretty cool, man. If Asuka wins the Women's Championship at SummerSlam, I would love to see her go up against Shayna Baszler in a one-on-one match at Payback. I think that would be awesome. But yes, in the end of the tag team match, Shayna Baszler did pick up the victory by tapping out Bayley, and I thought that was very interesting, how she tapped out the SmackDown Women's Championship when she's going after the Raw Women's Championship. So that's very interesting. I really enjoyed that tag team match as well. Moving over here, it was actually Montez Ford versus Andrade in a one-on-one match. Of course, Montez Ford trying to get a little retaliation for, of course, Selena Vega poisoning his drink. Yes, Selena Vega was the poisoner of the drink. via some security cam footage that well, I don't even know. I don't even know how they got it. It was something had to do with retribution. But yeah, somehow they get the security footage of her poisoning the drink of Montez Ford. But yeah, back into the match. Montez Ford did pick up the victory against Andrade 1-2-3 with a little help from Bianca Belair, because Bianca Belair did take out Selena Vega. Little distraction for Andrade there, and then Montez Ford did pick up the victory in a not half bad match. Moving over here was the Monday Night Messiah. It was actually Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio coming out and basically just talking about how sorry they feel for each other and how they've been beaten up by the Messiah and all this crap. And then Rey Mysterio and Dominic, well, of course, Seth Rollins pops up on the Titantron with the Disciple. And then Rey Mysterio is basically just like, you know what, get out here. And then Seth Rollins is like, all right, I'm coming out right now. You asked for this, Rey Mysterio. And then it had to have been a very nice planned trick from Mysterio and Dominic. I thought it was a really good, well set up plan by those two. They had Seth Rollins and the Disciple distracted by Rey Mysterio. Here comes Dominic from behind with a kendo stick, takes him out, and then they just start hammering down with kendo sticks. But then Seth Rollins was able to escape. As you can see, Buddy Murphy pulling him away. I thought that was a very good moment right there, and I definitely did enjoy that. Moving over here, the main part of the show right here. Of course, Shawn Michaels was gonna address the actions of Randy over the past couple weeks, especially against Ric Flair last week on Raw, and it was pretty obvious, but man, was it awesome. Everybody was expecting Randy Orton to RKO the living crap out of Shawn Michaels, and he did just that. He RKO'd and then punt kicked him, and then Drew McIntyre came out. He escorted Randy Orton out of the ring. He scared him out of the ring, and then, while Drew McIntyre was checking on Ric Flair, here comes Randy Orton, turns around Drew McIntyre, RKO, amazing. That's the match I'm most excited for SummerSlam. I am so freaking excited for that one. That's going to be absolutely amazing. But yes, guys, that has been the Raw part of the video, and now we're going to get into SmackDown. But before we do that, I got to rate this show. I'm going to give Raw a solid 7 out of 10. So now, let's get into SmackDown. Moving into the SmackDown side of things, or should I say the SmackDown Thunderdome. The Thunderdome was so cool, I gotta say. Oh my gosh, I'm almost for sure they did have fake crowd noise. I'm almost for sure about that. But it was so cool to see some cool faces of the WWE Universe. I haven't seen them in such a long freaking time. So it's so cool to see some faces of the crowd in the crowd on television screens. It was just so cool, man. Just so awesome. Started off the show with Mr. McMahon coming out, basically just introducing the Thunderdome, if this stupid camera would focus on it. But yes, it started off with Mr. McMahon out there with himself, just basically introducing the Thunderdome, and then the Fiend actually interrupted him, like, oh man, the Fiend's about to take him out, and then Braun Strowman actually came out, and then Mr. McMahon actually exited the ring, and then it was a face-off between the Fiend and Braun Strowman, and then Retribution made their presence known. They hopped him on the side of the rings, lights go out, the Fiend is gone, and then... yeah, Naomi just fell. Interesting. And then the Fiend was gone, and then it was just Braun Strowman. Retribution attacks Braun Strowman. The entire locker room comes out, gets rid of Retribution, and then we somehow ended up with a match between Big E and Sheamus. But yes, it was a very good match between Big E and Sheamus. By the way, that entire beginning of the show was absolutely chaotic and awesome as well. But yeah, we start off the show with Big E versus Sheamus. Very awesome match. I love how they're still pushing the singles career of Big E. In the end of this match, Sheamus actually got a little distracted because, of course, members of the locker room were still on ringside because they were just making sure Retribution doesn't try to attack again. So Sheamus got a little distracted with a little controversy that was going down on outside of the ring with like King Corbin and Matt Riddle, I think it was. And then Big E took advantage, rolled up Sheamus, 1, 2, 3, Big E with another victory. How awesome was that? I freaking loved it. Moving over here was Mandy Rose backstage promo. Excuse me. Backstage promo with Kayla Braxton basically just saying how she wants the old Sonya Deville back, and then Sonya Deville responded in another backstage promo with Kayla Braxton, basically just saying that the old Sonya Deville is not going to come back. She added another stipulation to their match at SummerSlam. The loser leaves WWE and gets their head shaved. How insane is that? I'm so interested in that match, to be honest with you. I think that's a very underrated match for the show. I'm really into that. And yeah, that was a decent promo there. Moving over here, it was Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Lucha House Party. And I thought this match was happening at SummerSlam. I guess not, but my prediction for the supposed SummerSlam, I guess not anymore, was Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro, and they did win win their match here on SmackDown, so that was pretty cool. They did retain their SmackDown Tag Team Championships in a pretty decent match. Grammarly did have a bad, like, you-know-what on the outside of the ring. He had a bad fail. Cesaro, I think, was supposed to catch him in, like, a Hurricane Rana position and then maybe slam him on the ground, but Grammarly totally missed, landed on his back. I really hope he's okay because it looked really bad. Reminded me of that Montez Ford botch, dude. It was so bad. But then Kalisto and Lince Dorado had a little controversy at the end. I was like, wait a minute. Kalisto and, Lince Dorado having a little controversy. They're Lucha House Party members. But, of course, Lince Dorado kind of blew it for the team. And then Kalisto got a little mad because this is his big return and everything. I fully understand my man Kalisto. Moving over there, yes, Naomi fell. But there was a beat-the-clock challenge between Bayley and Sasha Banks, with Naomi being the competitor that they faced. So first, it was Sasha Banks versus Bayley. First, it was Sasha Banks versus Naomi, and then Sasha Banks got a time of beating Naomi 3 minutes and 39 seconds, and then Bayley had her match, and she lost against Naomi, so that makes her fully the loser. So Sasha Banks will face Asuka second at SummerSlam, and that is a big advantage because whoever faced Asuka first is going to have a fresher Asuka. If you face her second, it's going to be a weaker, more beat-up Asuka because she already had her first match. So that's very freaking interesting. And then after those two matches, after Naomi left and everything, Asuka ended up coming out. She took out Sasha Banks with a kick to the side of the face, and then Bayley just walked up the entrance ramp, grabbed her title, and walked right past Sasha Banks. So their WWE is definitely displaying some cracks in the friendship of these two women right here. So I think that was very awesome. Really looking forward to their match now against Asuka at SummerSlam. It wasn't really, but now they adding a little more controversy with the friendship. I really like that. Moving over here is Jeff Hardy versus AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship. Very good match. I was really into that for sure. I thought for sure, maybe going into it, AJ Styles probably gonna win this match, probably gonna retain his title. But no, Jeff Hardy, he retained. Jeff Hardy, no, not retained. He got the title. Jeff Hardy is the brand new Intercontinental Champion. How insane is that? Of course, during the Retribution attack in the beginning of the show, AJ Styles actually did a cheap shot on Jeff Hardy during the big attack on his leg. Jeff Hardy was a little injured. He had a knee brace on his leg, and then he hit AJ Styles with it. I'm not sure. It might have been incidental, but yeah, very good advantage that Jeff Hardy had. Hit him with the knee brace, and then he hit the Swanton Bomb, gave him an opening for the Swanton. He hit it, 1, 2, 3, brand new Intercontinental Champion. I freaking love it. How awesome is that? Yes, The Rock and John Cena did return. Kidding! How epic would that be, though? Wow. Does that just bring you back, man? Oh my gosh. Is that awesome? My God. No, that did not happen on SmackDown, but wow. That just looks awesome. Moving over here. It was a Firefly Funhouse episode interrupted by the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, and then their battle took place into the back of the arena. They ended up at a semi-dock area. Braun Strowman chokeslammed Bray Wyatt right out of the back of that tunnel and then onto the cement. So he was down, dead, broken in half, and then Braun Strowman reigned tall, walked away. They loaded up Bray Wyatt into the back of an ambulance, and then the Fiend emerged out of that ambulance. Oh my God, so they loaded Bray Wyatt up, and then the Fiend emerged. How insane is that? My God, was that such a cool moment. Oh my gosh, was that so cool. But yeah, guys, one more look, guys. Holy crap. This was just so epic, my God. How sick does that look? Oh, the Fiend. I love the Fiend. But yes, guys, I'm really looking forward to the match at SummerSlam, by the way. But yeah, that was SmackDown. I love the Thunderdome thing. I just think it's awesome. But yeah, in the end, I'm going to give SmackDown a solid 9 out of 10. Thought it was a really good show. I was really into it. Not going to get a 10 for me. I have yet to give a 10 to any show in like literally all the 70 episodes that I filmed of the weekend review. I've yet to give a 10 on any show. But yeah, this one's going to get a 9. Very close to a 10, though. But yeah, guys, that's been Raw and SmackDown in the setup style. Make sure to check out the SummerSlam predictions if you guys have not already, if you guys want to see my predictions for that. And I'll see you guys next time. BrettO Live out.